What's up and welcome. And I'm Alex. I'm here with Steve Barcelona from Conjuror Community, the world's best magic club. Do us a favor, hit follow, hit subscribe. Make sure you know every time we go live with one of these new sessions. And today we're going to get into the magic of Simon Aronson. It's actually our third part of looking at the magic of Simon Aronson. And all of this stuff, I think one of the common threads that we see through all of this is that it's deeply fooling, because it's like he's got something else secret going on with all of these things that you can't see that make it so there's no way you could ever figure out these secrets. And I love it, right? It's just deeply fooling magic. I've been having fun with it. What about you, Steve? How you doing, man?
It's just really well thought out, and it's just, it's so clever. It's like beyond, clever is not a strong enough word. It's devious.
Yes, genius level thinking, no doubt.
It's just so devious and it's just delicious magic.
It's good to get fooled so hard by these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
It reminds you of what it is to be a layman, and on one level, it like reminds you of what it is, just why we do magic, because you're getting fooled so bad by these things, and you remember that all of the stuff that to a layman, that's the experience they're having, right? Mm-hmm. In a certain sense, with Simon's stuff, it's some of it, I think, borders on being magician's magic, where it's, you need to know a few secrets so that this secret really nails it home and fools you real bad, right? Mm-hmm. And again, I think it's just a good reminder of how powerful magic itself is. And you remember as a performer what the power you're holding with all these routines that you've spent all these years refining and improving and making into these showpieces. That's it, right? That's the essence of why we do this stuff. So it's a great reminder in my mind. Just to remember what it's like to just be a layman, even at some with some sense of what being a layman is, just so you can remind yourself of that. So yeah, love it. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. It's we need people like Simon Aronson, you know what I mean? To just show you how, like how high the bar could actually be in a lot of this stuff.
Agreed. And then, that's pretty well put. I don't think I can improve upon that.
I think we might need to roll something. What we got?
I think we probably should watch a video. Yeah, let's watch a Simon Aronson clip. And this one
hey, is that's fitting. That's fitting. We were talking about him, and you have some clips ready. That's great.
It's weird how that works.
Fantastic.
I recently learned that there are only 2 approved ways to begin the famous pick a card trick. Really? The first approved beginning is to have the card picked by just having someone name it. Frank, would you just name a card, any card you'd like in the deck?
8 of spades.
Okay, the 8 of spades. It's a marvelous choice. I don't know whether you're aware of it, but the 8 of spades in fortune telling indicates incredible judgment and taste in choosing magicians. Now, the second approved beginning is used when the magician is not allowed to know the identity of the card. And in those cases, the cards are picked face down. You've seen it. The people spread the cards like this, and somebody picks it. Dusty, would you do me a favor? Reach out and with one finger, just touch the back of any card, but don't let me influence you. One finger, anywhere you want. Right over there? Fine. Okay, I'd like you to extend your left hand, palm up, and we'll put it right over there. Hold on to that for a moment. Now, Frank, Dusty, those are the 2 approved ways to begin a card trick. And they are the fairest ways to begin a card trick, because you could have named any one of the cards in the deck. And you could have touched any one of the cards in the deck. But together, they're not only good beginnings, together they also make a wonderful ending to the pick a card trick, because the card that you named, the 8 of spades, Dusty, take a look.
That's just good magic right there.
That's just good magic.
That's just good magic. That's just good for anybody.
Killer, man. Just killer. I agree. Good for anybody. And it hit them. Like, you could even see that girl that was sitting next to the table. Like, as he's spreading them, you could have thought of anyone. Like, it occurs where she's like, no.
That's when the dots connect and you're like, no.
So good.
I love that. I love that, that when they get there, I think I've talked about this before. it's like magic. It's really strong when they get there just a little bit before you get there, right? Just a little, like, no, bam, that's when it's really strong. And that trick has that, and
I think it's really true. It seems like magic in its truest sense, that magic doesn't, it's not what you're seeing, it's what's happening in your mind, right? You're painting a picture of much bigger than what is really happening. And you can hear it when people recall memories of seeing magic. The trick becomes a little bit more fantastical when the retelling comes along, because in their mind, it is that, right? And that's, yeah, that's it. So when you can have it right, that punch right before the reveal, that's it. They've already done the magic in their mind. It's done. It's solidified. And it's like a concrete image in their mind now, right?
Do you think that the reason that's stronger is because they connect the dots in their mind and the magic happens in their mind when they're saying no way, then it's immediately proven with their eyes, and that leaves them with nothing.
That's exactly right. There's no path. There's no thread to go back to, because by the time they're having that realization, too late. It's just
too late. It's over. I love it.
Exactly. Well, let's get into this next one here. This is a little bit more of the same notion, the same idea, right? The stuff that looks like it's just totally impossible like this. Let's just get into this next one, and we'll I'm sure we'll have a good talk about this too. Great.
Way before ESP cards were ever invented, the earliest experiments in mind reading were done with an ordinary pack of playing cards. I'm going to see how close I can come to duplicating one of those experiments. Frank, I'd like to cut off about a third of the cards, okay? And I'd like you to look at the card that you cut to, remember that, burn it into your memory, and then let's slide those cards over to Dusty. Dusty, give them a shuffle. Just, take those cards, give them a really good shuffle. When you're satisfied that they're fully shuffled, then look at the new bottom card, okay? Oh, okay. Have you got that? You'll remember that card. So you're remembering a card, and you're remembering a card. Susie, I'd like you to cut off about half those cards and look at the card you cut to. Okay. Remember it, burn it into your memory, and we'll slide those over to Reno over here and give them a good shuffle. And when you're satisfied that those are fully shuffled, look and remember the new card at the bottom of that, okay? 4 cards have been cut and shuffled to. That should be enough to counteract any action of chance, but I don't think this part of the deck has been shuffled. So would you do me a favor and just shuffle those up, just so we'll know that the whole deck has been shuffled, okay? Great, and why don't you put your cards back on top? And why don't you put your cards back on top? The entire deck has been shuffled, and I'm going to take them in exactly the order in which they've been shuffled. And I'm going to deal these cards face up so that all of you can see them. What I'd like you to do is watch to see if and when you see the card that you're merely thinking of. When you see it, don't say anything, but just think the word stop. Keep a poker face, because if I happen to pass it, I don't want you to give me any clues. But let's see how close we can come. You'll think the word stop when you see your cards. Okay? Whoa. I just felt a strong urge to stop right there. And it came from this side of the room. And if I had to bet, I'd bet it came from over there. Is that right? Poker face. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Now, well, let's see whether we still have 3 more cards to go. So let's stop you. What?
That's the same card I had.
That's the same card that you had.
Yes.
Holy cow! We found 2 cards at once. Let's see whether we can find two more cards. Both of you watch to see if and when you see your card. That's when you'll merely think the word stop. Whoa. I got a strong impression here to stop, and I think it came from over here. Yes. It did. That's fine. Well, we've got both of their cards here. Wow. We've got one more card. I know where it's going, where the thought's going to come from, but we'll see whether we can get there. Here we go. As we deal, you're going to only think the word stop. If and when you see your card, I got the impression, a really strong thought to think stop right over there. Is that the card? There we are. Thank you very much.
It's like mind reading, right?
Like another fun little thing right there. That is very strong magic right there.
That's very strong magic. Yeah, there's nothing really to say about it other than that, right? And how?
It seems so innocent without it seems so innocent without mechanism. Right? It just seems like without mechanism.
Right.
You take that, you do that over there, or give that over there, you do that over there. It's just it's so cleverly, I don't want to say simple, but straightforward or just
direct.
Like
direct is probably the best way to put it. It's right to the meat. Right to the meat. There's no messing around. There's no fudging around. He's going right to the place of just revelation, right? Feeling those cards. And oddly enough, what he's doing here, if you understand the idea of what Simon is really presenting, it's almost like a self-working miracle here. as odd as that sounds.
It's not.
It's not, though. It's not. There's a lot of work that needs to happen. Well, at some point, we'll get into the after show here, and we'll talk a little bit more about what's really going on, what the underlying current is. But for now,
when we go to the after show, and it's just the members, we talk about secrets openly, but we don't do that here on YouTube.
It's not the right thing to do. It's not cool. It's not cool.
But it's not cool, man. It's just not cool.
Well, let's get another example of what we're going to be talking about in the after show. This one is a little bit more direct. This one's a little bit right to the jugular. This one's a real quick one. In reference to that last one that we just saw, you'll see this is a little bit quicker and a little bit more to the point.
People ask me if I use trick cards, and I have to confess, I do. I have one trick card. It's that invisible card. It's an invisible card somewhere here in the deck. Dusty, you seem to have pretty good eyes. Where do you think just point to where you think you see the invisible card?
I think it's right there.
Right, exactly, right between the two visible ones. And I will leave it right over here on the table, okay?
Look at the look on her face.
20/20 vision, okay? Now, we don't know what this card is, and you know why.
It's invisible.
No, because it's face down. Exactly. But Dusty, we know Dusty's vision is very good. So Dusty, pick it up, look at it, and tell everybody what card that is, using your imagination, of course, but tell everybody what card it is.
It's a 4 of spades.
The 4, very, very good. Excellent. She has seen this before, must have, because she knew that the 4 of spades is the one invisible card in the deck. Now, a lot of people doubt Dusty's vision. Some people might be even skeptical enough and think that she is just like playing along with me. Well, no way. But for the skeptics here among us, we can check, because if you really did take that 4 of spades out, then it shouldn't be in the deck, right?
Right.
Well, let's just check here. Why don't you take a look here? There's a 4, a couple of 4s, but no 4 spades, right? We can check. Here, look. No 4 of spades. There's 4 clubs. No 4 of spades. And this, of course, is normal. This is natural because it's sitting right over there. I just wanted, look, no 4 of spades, none whatsoever here. Look, as a matter of fact, that's 49, that's 50, that's 51. There is absolutely no 4 of spades in the entire deck. And since I don't want to be left, of course it is, since I don't want to be left with a deck that's short, I will take that invisible card and put it right back here and just wave my hand over the card and make it come back. to the 4 of spades. Right there. Thank you.
That's pretty good.
Clever. Very great use of, of a color change,
Yeah, very clever use of it, because usually it's just a watch how quick I am, or watch how I can make my hand do this thing, and that has like a point to it. There's a reason that you wave that hand over the deck, because you're making the invisible card visible again. Why else? It's pretty cool.
For
I
sure.
love it.
Yeah. I mean, what's not to love? Right? It's the cleverness of the invisible deck.
Right.
It's kind of the same plot-ish kind of thing.
Ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without any special apparatus.
Yeah. Very, his stuff is always good. It's just always good.
Yeah.
And it sounds so trite to say that, but a lot of these guys that we look at on these shows, these are like the top, and when you see a guy like Simon Aronson, and he just recently passed away, I am pretty sure, right?
I think within the past decade or so. Yeah.
Oh, really? No, I think it's more recent than that. But
a member will tell us.
Somebody will tell us right now. One of our members will tell us. But anyway, about
a year ago, last 2 years. Okay. More recent.
It wasn't that long ago.
Okay. I thought it was okay. I'm totally off.
But here's a guy who's just devoted himself to presenting this magic into one exact corner of that magic and just perfecting it. Like the method that he's famous for is like, that's his love, and he just makes everything he does look brilliant.
And one of the things that's really interesting about it is that a lot of this material, it's not like brand new stuff. Like, this has been around. It's just that if you don't understand what Simon has going on, there's no reason you would even read into what these things are, right? There's no reason you would even read the effect descriptions, because it's out of your league, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. But this stuff is literally magic that's like from the 70s and early 80s, right? That he's just been sitting on forever, and he's the guy that can be doing this stuff. It's pretty phenomenal. And imagine that you're the guy that does those effects, and no one else really can do them because they just don't have the skill set to be able to make those effects even happen. That's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome.
It's one thing to know how something works.
That's right.
It's a completely other thing to actually be able to do it.
That's right.
Completely other thing.
That's right. So this last one, this is sort of a culmination of all of this stuff. And then like Steve and I were saying, when we get to the after show, we can talk a little bit more about the details of why this stuff even works, because there's a beauty in that too. But it's just, we don't want to divulge secrets here just out in the open in public. So let's enjoy this clip, and then and we'll go from there.
There are 3 questions that people regularly ask a magician. First, people ask, would you please do a trick? Second, afterwards, lots of people ask, would you do that again? And third, some people ask, would you teach me how to do that trick? I'm going to try to satisfy all 3 requests right now. I'm going to perform a trick and do it again and teach you all to do it, okay? I will do it with the world's most famous plot. The spectator picks a card and the magician finds it. But to make it more challenging, I'm going to do all 3 things without ever touching the cards. That makes sleight of hand much more difficult, okay? Why don't we start over here? Susie, I'd like you to cut off approximately a quarter of the deck. Okay? You can shuffle them up if you want. Shuffle those cards. And put them on the table. Great. Now, here is the card that you freely cut to. Okay? I'd like you to take a look at it, burn it into your memory, show it to the rest of the audience, don't let me see it. Okay? I won't look. And then put it right on top of those shuffled cards, and now bury it by putting the rest of the deck face down. That's great. That's card number 1. Kenna, will you help me? Okay. Cut off a small packet, not too many cards, Okay, that's fine. And what I'd like you to do is feel free to shuffle them. That's great. Put them on the table. And here's the card you freely cut to. I'd like you to look at it, show it around, burn it into your memory. But don't let me see it. And put it back on your shuffled cards and bury it by dropping the rest on top. Now, that's 2 cards, but for the teaching part, I need to have my card. But to keep things completely fair, Lisa, will you do me a favor? Why don't you just cut off a packet, about 1/3 of the deck. Just cut it for me, okay? Yeah, that's good, okay? And I'm going to take a look over here. I'm going to take a look at this card, okay? Oh, that's good, okay. This will be my card, all right? Okay. This will be my card, and we'll put it back on top.
Okay.
And I'd like you to just bury it over there. Good. 3 cards completely lost in the deck, determined solely by your random cuts and shuffles. It would take a magician to find those 3 cards. But that's my job. Okay. Now, for your first card, I'm going to try to find that. Well, I'll tell you how, because I'm going to teach it to you. While you guys were looking at and cutting, I just watched and estimated exactly where you cut and exactly where you cut. And then I estimated where you shuffled. And so I got a good sense of where the 2 cards lie, and then I combined those with a special probability theorem known as the chaos theory, which basically means that all things taken together, Susie's card is probably at the very top of the deck. Position number 1, okay? I'm going to commit myself for the first time. I will say it's at the very top of the deck. So for the first time, tell everybody, what card did you pick?
2 of diamonds.
The 2 of diamonds. Will you take the deck? I don't want to touch it. Take it and count. Deal right off the top part of the deck. Just deal it face up.
Okay.
Sure. Look at that, the 2 of diamonds. Now,
Look how happy she
that's the
is.
first card, but we have to find the second card. Now, I could use estimation combined with the chaos theory, but that would really be pushing my luck. So I'm going to try and find Kenna's card by specific mathematics, okay? What are the last 2 digits of your home phone number? 73. Yes. And on what day of the month were you born? Day of the month. 18. Good. So if we multiply 73 by 18 and take the square root of the inverse reciprocal of that product, right? We get 13, right? Sure. And we have a chance. That's the same number we would get if we used estimation with the double chaos theory, right? So 13. I'm gonna commit myself, really. Your card is at the 13th position. For the first time, tell everybody, what card did you pick?
4 of diamonds.
The 4 of diamonds. Will you take the deck and in a loud, clear voice, no, just pick it up and you can count 13, but right before you reach, face down is fine, and when you reach the 13th card, stop for drama, okay?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Whoa.
The 4 of diamonds. That's great. There's still one more part. I told you I would teach you to do the trick, right? And we still have to find my card. So you've been watching pretty close, Kenna, right? Where do you think my card lies in the deck? Now, you can use either double estimation with the chaos theory, or, well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint. This is your first time at this trick, right?
Yes.
Okay. My card is probably somewhere between 25 and 35, but where do you think it is? Right in there.
As a guess?
No, as using your powers of mind reading. Absolutely. Sure. What do you think? between 25 and 35.
Oh, okay,
27. 27.
Yes.
How did you know? This is amazing. This is amazing. Okay. Kenna thinks my card is at 27, and we can check. I should tell you, my card is the 3 of clubs. Let's check. I'd like you to, in a loud, clear voice, deal off 27 and stop for the Kodak moment, okay?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16,
25, 26,
27. For a Kodak moment, I said my card was the 3 of clubs. Kenna certainly deserves a big hand if she has in fact found my card, the 3 of clubs. Thank you very, very much.
Kind of like a free one there in the end, isn't it? Kind of like a free one.
Kind of like a free one, but in a way, it's sort of the strongest one.
I know it's it's a free one. And it's the strongest one. It's amazing. It's so great.
Wow. Well, that's Simon Aronson, folks. That's the kind of magic that you see when you see that gentleman. He just really one of the greats of card magic, in my opinion.
I missed one of these shows last week, but all the magic I've seen and I don't think I've ever seen it as a lump, like all together, I like the way he's just really engaging with the people around him. It really feels like you're having a visit with him.
I think that in the later part of his life that he was more concerned about presentation than he was with method. It's like he worked out all the method stuff in the 70s, right? Mm-hmm. Now it's how do I build things up to be bigger and more fantastical than just what the basis of what's happening with the effect. You know what I mean? How do I go above and beyond that? And the presentation gets him there, right?
Yeah. And he has just such a great rapport, though, is the thing. You know what I mean? He's such a great rapport with the people he's performing for. And I think that's just so important.
It's really great. Yeah. And he was an attorney, right? Like he was a guy that was talking to people all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Had to be reasonable. Otherwise he didn't have a career, right? Right. So I'm sure a lot of the same stuff just translated and ported right over into magic for him. It's what a great magician, what a great body of work.
Yeah.
We're going to revisit Simon one more time. So make sure you tune in our next Afternoon Astonishment, because we're going to look at something that looks more like pure mind reading. And it's an act that he does with his wife. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be a fun time. It's a little bit longer. It's going to be more like we're going to get together and do the same thing, but it's going to be a little bit longer presentation to see that whole act. So it's going to be fun, but we're going to be more like a captive audience, like watching a movie with this next one. It's a little bit longer act, but it's wonderful. And I highly encourage you to come and check it out, or at least watch the replay, because I think it's one of the great things that Simon does. And despite the fact that we just watched all of this wonderful, wonderful card magic, I think that this is really one of the things that,
and there's something better, right? Is what you're saying.
Better.
Which is ridiculous.
It's sort of ridiculous, but really wonderful. So again, make sure you come and tune in and come and hang out with us again, because we're gonna dig deep into this stuff. We're a little bit more with Simon. So thanks again for joining us. Make sure you do us a quick favor and click follow and subscribe, and that way you'll know every time we go live with a new one of these shows. And we hope you'll join us again. We'll see y'all soon.